Love that. Woo! All right. So we are now back at the third episode of the Shagnasty's podcast of the day. Today was April 24th. It's 1:17 in the morning. We had Bridges to Burn headlining here today. Road to Ruin open, 53 judges, direct support, then Bridges to Burn. I got Jason Bowen here, front man of Bridges to Burn. And so I'm hearing you guys have been around for 7 years as this band, but your music career goes much further back than that, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Man. So I want to hear about that, man. So tell me about the beginnings of you coming of age, and what was the first musical business thing that you did? What was your first endeavor as a professional musician?
Well, my first musical endeavor was my dad taking me and my brother around.
Okay, you told me a little bit about this.
Kind of whoring us out as little kids.
Ah, God, that's so hot.
So he would take us and let us sit in with these bands, and we could play one country song and one rock song, and the only way he would let us sing a third song is if they were going ape shit. That was his quote. And he would pass a hat, and my dad at the end of the night would hit 4, 5, 6 bars, and I was 11, my brother was 13, and we'd go hit these bars up, dude, and then at the end of the night he would count the money up and split it in half, and he would give me and my brother half, and he would take half. So for years we thought he was stealing from us, but he was buying the amps and guitars and microphones and cool clothes for us to go and do this stuff in. And we're like, we want to start a band. He's like, no, man, then we got to buy a PA. We got to drag all that around. Then you're going to have to pay me part to do all this shit. Yeah.
But you kept on doing the thing, which is admirable.
I kept on doing the thing, man. And I kind of have the same story to repeat itself. I met a guy in 1990. Was singing in a band called Artisan in Nashville. His name was Mike Thomas, and we became real close friends.
Just to interrupt here, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Dayton, Ohio until I was 15, and I spent a year in Florida, and then I moved here my junior year moved to Nashville my junior year in high school.
Okay, so what year was that?
That was 1987.
1987. Wow, man. So I was born in 89, just for some reference.
That's the year I graduated from high school.
What? No shit. Yeah. Okay, cool, man. Very cool. Wow. So that's a whole tangent and a half right there. Yeah. So you are a junior in high school. You've just moved to Nashville.
Right.
What are you doing musically at that point? You like own a guitar? You're like playing
guitar and going around and auditioning for bands and getting told no and getting told yes. And the great bands were telling me no and the shit bands were saying yes. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I doing wrong? I want to be in these great bands.
Absolutely.
So I spent about 6 months just woodshedding, like, I don't know, 10, 12 hours a day.
Yeah, and that's the only way to get anywhere near the next level.
And at that time, I was a guitar player mainly.
Sure.
And so I'm loving George Lynch and Paul Gilbert and all those guys, and of course Randy Rhoads and Eddie Van Halen and all that stuff. So you had to study.
Specifically, to interject here, what were your favorite records at that time? Guys, can you take this from me, please? Yes, sir. Thanks so much.
My
top three favorite records.
Top 3 favorite records at that time, guitar wise, were Under Lock and Key from Dokken.
Okay.
By far my most favorite album.
Still.
Hell
yeah.
And my most favorite record of all times is Badlands, Voodoo Highway.
Okay.
The second one from Badlands, Jakey Lee with Ray Gillen singing, and just Greg Chasen playing bass. It was just that's my favorite. If I had one record to listen to till the end of time, that would be my record. I'm going to look that up.
You said Badlands?
Badlands, Voodoo Highway. And because of legal stuff that they went through, you may not be able to find it without really getting to it.
Oh, no. I already got it. Dude. We're good.
So,
that's going to be easy.
Yeah.
I am one of those millennials that grew up with the internet. We know how to find this shit.
Well, they get blocked because the guy that sang in the band did some things illegally.
You're right. This is a pirate link, actually. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Hold up. I'll show the people online. When you look this up on an official stream, you don't see the album. You don't see a band's profile. You see, quote, full album HQ. Yep. Shady pirate link, but you still get to listen to the album.
I'm telling you,
very
dude,
interesting
that's
story.
The best hard rock vocal of all time, in my opinion.
Ooh, I'm a vocalist, so I'm definitely gonna be listening to that.
I love the great vocalist, but to me, that vocal performance, start to finish,
no shit.
To me that rivals, and a lot of people are gonna say this is blasphemy.
No, talk to me. I like the spicy opinions.
It rivals Heaven and Hell vocally.
Okay. And that's Dio?
That's Dio.
Yeah,
The first Sabbath record that Dio did.
I mean, I'm not offended by that. That's a cool freaking opinion. I'm excited to listen to this record.
And I'm a huge Dio fan. That's my number 2.
So I've listened to the
hard rock vocalist,
to the Dawkins albums, obviously, but I have not heard this Badlands album. I'm actually hyped to listen. We might
Jakey
listen to it
Lee
in a
is phenomenal.
second.
Jakey Lee is phenomenal.
Shit. Okay, man, that is cool. So I've heard 2 favorite records from you. Let's hear one more. What's your top 3 favorite records at that time, not now?
At that time, man, I was so into George Lynch at that time, and Under Lock and Key, and Tooth and Nail was right behind that, but it's still not one of my top favorite ones. And I would say the one that came even right out of high school later was the first Mr. Big record with Paul Gilbert.
Yeah, Paul Gilbert and Billy Sheehan. Who was their drummer? I forget that.
Their drummer's name was Pat Torpey.
Pat Torpey.
And he's since passed since then, the last couple of years.
I'll tell you what.
And their
Paul
singer,
and Billy still killing it though.
Yeah, and their singer Eric Martin is still phenomenal. I mean, he is absolutely phenomenal.
A lot of those old thrash, or like those kind of metal vocalist guys are still around. Like I know Watchtower's singer. I met him in New Jersey. Dude, still great singer. Whereas these modern metal singers, half of them that didn't learn from Melissa Cross.
Right.
Shout out to a great vocal coach.
Right.
Half of these modern metal singers, they go on the road.
Shout out to my vocal coach.
Please, let's hear it. I love vocal coaches.
Janine Smith, man, is she a
Nashville girl?
She's in Nashville. We sat in the homeroom in high school together. She went on to study opera, and
that's cool.
She's amazing.
So I started with the whole Brett Manning thing because he had the web presence, and he's good at teaching that speech level R&B country vocal thing. But then I went and studied with Mark Baxter. I don't know if you know him.
I do not. I'm not familiar.
He wrote the Rock and Roll Singers Survivals. Very great.
You need to send me the link to that. I would love to.
I literally have a hard copy of it, but I'll send you when I edit this.
I do Audible all the time, so
this one has good illustrations and like diagrams and stuff too. But he has and he was expensive at the time. But I was like really taking my musical career seriously, and then obviously I did the Ken Tamplin thing later.
Yep.
I paid way too much for his program, but I still do his warm-ups to this day. The Brett Manning Mastering Mix Disc 12 and the Ken Tamplin Audio Dudes workouts are like my go-to vocal exercise. I'll show you some of that.
Yeah, I would love to.
They're cool, dude. Man, we could talk about that for quite some time.
Yeah, because see, I'm an old radio guy too, man.
Cool.
My brother and I used to do a radio show. My younger brother and I did a radio show for years in Jackson, Tennessee.
You got a good voice for it, for sure.
On a little rock radio.
I dig that.
It's killer.
Hell yeah, man. And that was also in Nashville?
That was in Jackson, Tennessee.
Okay.
It was a modern rock radio station at that time.
So what decade are we talking modern rock?
We're talking about 2002, 2004.
Okay, see, that's my coming of age time right there.
So we were
But that 2002, I was 13 years old. Things like System of a Down Toxicity and like Linkin Park Meteora and oh my God, Deftones. Yeah. Oh man. And Finch, What It Is to Burn even. And that record, Daryl from Glassjaw vocal coached that record.
Really?
Yeah. See, that guy put out another record where
Daryl is something, dude. That's
okay. Yeah. He vocal coached that Finch record, and that was like one of the early emo masterpieces at that time. You know? Shit that you don't even like. Like comedians have the same things. Those were like players. The comedians. Like that was the stuff that all the popular people were listening to, but the plebeian audience had no idea of.
Right.
And we still go, oh my God, that stuff is just life-changing records for me, for sure.
Right.
And those aren't even my top 3. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, I never even planned to be a vocalist, man. I just wanted to play guitar and write the songs.
Yeah, well, my dad taught me I had my first guitar at 3 years old, and I took drum lessons and all this stuff. I never wanted to be a vocalist. I just started recording music into the computer, right? And then everybody was too afraid to sing, basically. And that's usually the thing. You bare your soul when you sing to an audience.
Right, man. I had a buddy of mine in Indiana who sang for Piranha for years as a Nashville guy.
Okay.
And Darren Andrews is a freak of nature.
He's still with us?
Yeah, man. He's amazing. And he's still one of my he's a brother, man. He's not even a friend. That. And he I've done hundreds of shows with him and not be in the same band. When he was in Piranha, I played in 2 or 3 different bands with him.
We got a lot of bands like that here. It's like some bands it's not like a all the time package, but they just do really well together.
Yeah.
And the dudes get along and there's none of this weird energy. Like that's really important. Having those relationships are everything, not just in the music industry, everywhere. Relationships make a big difference.
Yeah, man. My generation, a vocalist, I was late because I had, my buddy Mike Thomas sang with us before he passed for years. Darren Andrews is a great friend of mine, and then Terry Palace took my place. I was singing with Ronnie, our drummer, in a band that was called Alley Cat before they formed Valhalla.
Okay.
So those three guys, man, were the three badasses in Nashville that were, now we're all 50.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's cool. And those guys are the whole operatic, smoking, fire breathing, old school, Dio-esque, Jeff Tate kind of.
Totally.
Bruce Dickinson,
man, we
up
just
your
got
ass kind
one
of
of
guys.
these bands most improved of this year. Just got a new vocalist, and I swear to God, he sang that Iron Maiden stuff better than like Iron Maiden tribute bands that I've seen.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, some of these guys that have those old chops, and that's the difference between the Brett Manning speech level singing and that like old school bel canto, like not quite operatic, but much louder, much more like instead of the kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm a loud guy.
Yeah, same. Very loud guy.
I have a hard time singing some of the stuff, lullabies with my babies, as many babies as I've had. Just wasn't my thing,
Oh, that's great. These days, and nothing against it because it's a good technique and it has stamina across a tour, and that does matter. A lot of these metal vocalists today, the ones that have the staying power, are doing the rah, 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 whisper screams thing. And obviously, there's more technique to it than that. That's a very cursory explanation.
Right.
That's kind of taken over, and a lot of that stuff, it sounds louder than it actually is. Whereas that generation of guys, it was louder than it sounded.
Right.
The compression and all the studio technology was holding it back.
All of us didn't have the PA to keep up, so we had to scream over the band, dude.
You hear that story about Black Sabbath, that Ozzy got that gig because he was the one with the PA.
Right.
If you can't hear the singer, do you have a singer? It's like a bear shitting in the woods,
yeah,
man.
I mean, we had PA, just wasn't enough. But, when I remember being 19 and Mike was 20 or 21 when we first met, and we literally, the first two rehearsals, didn't have PA in the room, and I'm playing through a boogie, dude, ripping his face off with a Mark IV.
So how do you compete with that as a vocalist?
And we could hear everything he was saying. Full set of drums, bass rig, and guitar, and he's just in there.
And back then, because you didn't, PAs didn't have built-in compressors and quality channel strips, right? It just
we had some padded custom stacks,
It sounded terrible.
And he's sounding killer with this piece of crap, know?
Yeah, that's when you really have something special on your hands, is when the gear can't even contain the quality of the performance. That's a really special moment, man.
At that time, me and my wife, my first wife, and I had a little baby. I was like 20 years old with a baby.
Wow.
We're living in a 1-bedroom apartment with a crib in the living room, and I'm spending $10,000 on PA. Because I had this great singer and we needed a PA, and he couldn't. Yeah. He couldn't afford it, and I was like, "Look, man, I'm working my balls off.
Still got to do it.
I'm gonna go buy this PA,
dude." The dumb financial music gear decisions. That still somehow led me to where I am now, even how dumb it was. It's like I wouldn't be here without some of those terrible. That said, I'm very fortunate to be in this generation where, despite all of the rampant inflation and stuff that we always hear about, prices still have gone significantly down. Like per pound of quality, the price has come down so drastically. As much as people want to shit on, Uli Behringer and, these foreign companies, they have enabled a lot of musicians of this generation to get out there and really level the playing field. You don't need all the financial support of these major labels to go out and make a real record and, do a real quality tour. And
dude, the guy that produces for us has got a great studio.
Oh, I love that. So can you pimp him real quick? Let's hear who's this guy?
David Dix with Red Feather Recording, man.
Okay, I've heard both of those before. And he's in Nashville, right?
He is phenomenal.
Okay, now I'm excited to hear your album. Let's pull this thing up, man. Hold up.
Yeah.
I listened to the Casket Kids entire album the other day on the stream.
Yeah.
I was like, this is awesome. And this is a local guy. This guy, Josh Dodd, who we love. So this is just a burn.
I don't know if Dawn's got any of the new stuff up.
That's fine.
But there's a record from 2 years ago that's up. It's on anywhere you. Yeah, it should be right there.
Open web player. There we go.
Yeah, man.
Bridges to burn.
Yeah. So there it is.
Nice.
There.
Very cool.
So you want Let's try the first song we wrote after that I started to sing on was Down the Road.
Dealer's Choice, Down the Road.
Yeah.
By Bridges to Burn.
Yeah, Evan and I wrote that the first rehearsal. It tells the story.
Oh, yeah. So this is you singing on this. You're playing some guitar, right?
Yes.
Part of my soul has left me. Now that you have been set free, dragging this wagon burden. You know all the pain I'm hurting, yeah. Your watchful eyes upon us, even though we can see. Separated for these moments. In time we shall soon see.
Ooh, backup vocals.
Yeah, that's real harmony.
I believe it.
That's Jamie and Evan and Ronnie
So
singing.
what he's saying is that this isn't just like on a lot of records now where you hear one vocalist doubling his voice a million times.
Yeah.
This is the whole band singing.
I'm not even in the background on that. That's Jamie and Evan.
This is
and
the real. This is
Ronnie.
what you're actually getting live, being represented on the record, and that matters.
Cast a stone.
Yep.
Yet the pressure in me gets to shine like a star in the midnight sky. It may seem like forever, but we should all remember, yeah, our paths will cross in due time. And the sun again will shine down the road. It's a falling.
Good chorus.
We got this far. You gotta hear the guitar solo. These
Oh,
guys
dude,
are
I'm not shutting this
fucking
off until
monsters.
it's done. It's a 3-minute song. I think I can wait 3 minutes.
The groove, man.
Yeah, a little breakdown there.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Exactly.
Gene Lane's on there also playing keyboards.
Here it is.
That's Jamie. That's my partner in crime, dude.
Feel that?
He's been with me 6 years.
Woo!
Down the road, our hearts unraveled. Down the road, a destiny traveled. Down the road, it's a buzzing. Down the road, we must be.
Oh, shit. Yes, I'm already here, man. This is a 2 minute and 30 long song. I want to listen to this.
Cool. This is the one we're talking about with the harmonica on it.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, this guy tells me before they, like, well, right before even sound check. Like, I play the harmonica, and I thought he was joking.
I don't
It's
joke
like,
when it
that's funny, dude.
I don't joke when it comes to my babies or music.
Fair
bro.
enough. Fair enough. I just want to hear how this harmonica is implemented on this recording. Oh, yeah, that's a cool riff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, there's
That's
some
my
of that, like, overkill DRI influence. I can hear that.
Never ever on my own. Always feel so alone. Upside down or inside out. No time for shame or doubt. Never fear for it cannot set you free.
That's it. I love pop music. I love good, overproduced, larger-than-life productions. But the cool thing about this is really what you hear is what you get when you guys play live. This is a real performance you're hearing right now. That counts for something. That's really cool, man.
Here's your heart.
Love it. guitar solo. So that is where I have to stop.
Okay, I'm got you.
Okay, so let's talk about that signal chain. You've got a harmonica,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes, sir.
Is this a scaled harmonica or a chromatic harmonica?
It's a chromatic harmonica.
Chromatic harmonica. That's
Excuse
cool.
me, it's a scaled harmonica.
Oh, it's scaled. Okay, that's cool. So what's your signal chain on that? What kind of mic you going into?
Okay, a lot of guys use the green.
The green bullet.
I use a blue bullet.
Okay, yeah, the green one sounds bad, dude. It's not a good mic.
I don't
like the sound of it.
I don't like that.
Okay,
Now live, I don't use a bullet at all.
Okay.
I blow it into $1,000 Sennheiser microphone that I sing in, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But,
so which one is that? Is that 945?
Yes.
945. Yeah. No. Those are good freaking microphones. So live, you don't have all that distortion and pedals and stuff on it.
No, but
okay. So
I can shape it.
Yeah. So you're like cupping the mic to give it a little bit of that mid boost and stuff.
Yep.
So you can definitely do some of that. But if we scroll back here, that's a signal chain worth talking about right there. Were you going through some pedals to get that sound, or is that in the producer's computer?
It's both.
Okay, and I'm sure it is.
Both.
But I definitely want to know.
Dave and I milked the shit out of that. It took about 2 hours to get that.
That's, as somebody who cares about music production and stuff, that's a cool freaking signal chain. That sounds.
David Dix, man.
David Dix. You said Red Feather Studios?
Red Feather Studios.
Red Feather Studios, yeah.
Now there's several things that make that tone.
Yeah, there's distortion, filtering. There's an octave in there for sure. I don't hear any.
There's not an octave.
There's definitely an octave in there. That's
the way I blow it, bro. I promise you.
Okay, I believe it, but there's got to be like a Octavia type fuzz or something on there.
There's a little bit of dirt, but not much.
There's a fuzz in there providing that octave.
Now in that recording.
Sure.
There's a live microphone there and a bullet microphone and a room microphone. So that's all three blended together.
So that's
now three
awesome.
different signal chains make that.
Of course. And you can smash that room to just create this like containing of this uncontainable sound type.
Yeah, and I'm in the big room on purpose.
Yes, so that you can get that containing of the, like smushing that reverb back down on the direct tone. That is really cool.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, it's a cool recording for sure. So, is this all the same band members that we heard tonight?
Yeah, well, Gene Lane was playing keyboards with us at that time, but we no longer. We
didn't have the keyboardist tonight, but that's
right. I'm working on doing some of that myself as well.
Okay, yeah, that's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, one of my sons is a concert pianist, and
there you go.
He's helping old dad out. I helped him with some guitar. He's singing "Mamma Mia" this week.
That's a cool way to help old dad out, right there. It's like, I'm gonna help you with some synths on your metal album, Dad.
Yeah, he's on some of the solo stuff that I do.
I dig that. Yeah, can we hear some of that?
I don't know that any of that's out there.
So that's fine. We'll talk about that
another
later.
time. We can do that. And I'll send you some stuff in advance.
I love that. Okay, man, cool. I dig that a lot.
Holy Ground is that's three guitar players on this one.
That's our opener tonight. Played with three guitars.
That's me and Evan and Jamie playing on this one.
Well, that's actually a pretty reasonable stat because the modern metal sound is one guitar on the left and one guitar on the right, and then the lead down the center, right? So that's three guitars. You just don't see a lot of bands touring with the three guitars.
And Jamie wrote this song.
Cool, man.
It's a great story. It's an old Western kind of thing. And we just took it and made it an extra long 3-guy guitar solo. See, we don't cut any of this to a grid. None of this is cut to a grid.
No, well, and also you're not tuning those blue notes. You hear the real blue notes in there. And I don't mind music that is produced, but sometimes you can definitely go too far. When you have all the options in the world, you don't have anybody telling you where to stop. Sometimes those blue notes really give it the character that not all the other music has. It can set you apart from them. Like hearing in between those notes. Like the voice doesn't have a fretboard like a guitar does. It doesn't have defined notes. There's in-between stuff to play around with in there.
Yeah, and this is preschool. I didn't take any lessons for this record.
Oh shit, okay.
Jimmy and I have been working about 2 years now.
That's cool.
Jamie playing guitar. He's my hero, man. Here's me.
So what you're hearing right now, harmonica solo, wah-wah pedal, wah after distortion, if I'm not mistaken. There's two wah sounds, right?
Yep.
You got the wah before distortion sound, and you got the wah after distortion sound. And what you're hearing right now is the wah after distortion sound.
It's actually a distorted wah pedal.
Okay, okay, even better. So there are a few companies like Ibanez has the Weeping Demon, and then Fender sells a fuzz wah.
Dunlop is Jimi Hendrix wah with a fuzz
Jimi
on.
Hendrix wah with a fuzz in it.
That's what that is.
Exactly.
This is Evan. He's incredible.
Ooh, a little diminished lick there. Sick. Sick.
All three of us in harmony.
That's the harmonic vocabulary. Take care, Athena. Peace out, dog.
The harmonic vocabulary.
Oh yeah. Like some of those blue notes again. It's like there's plenty of super progressive music, but there's also a lot of like stuff that's meant to appeal more to the masses. And this is right in the lane of this genre of music. But you guys are still giving some spice there. There's some extra stuff in the sauce.
Well, our goal starting this band was to be heavy enough to go and play with the heavy bands and mainstream enough to hit the national acts that are still doing it with openers.
Sure. But there's also some spices in there.
Yeah.
There's some of that stuff that you learn from experience that's put in there. I dig some of that, man. It's cool.
Thank you.
There's just some of those notes in that solo. It's like, ooh, these guys are players. Not just band dudes. There's players in this band. I dig that.
Yeah, the Neils are incredible.
Yeah. It takes us back to that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was cool, dude. Thanks for showing me that.
Thank you.
Dude.
Appreciate it.
Oh, man. So it is now 1:45 a.m. at the shack.
Yes, sir.
So we've been talking about a half an hour. So I think I'm going to adjourn this conversation here, but I'm looking forward to having you guys back, man. We're going to do it again. Oh, man. This is Bridges to Burn. This guy is Jason Bowen. He's got that radio voice.
Appreciate you having me out.
I
man.
appreciate you.
I feel like I made a new pal today.
Jason. Good looks, dude. Okay, so we are going to call it now, but thanks so much for doing this, man. I really appreciate your patience sitting here while I dealt with all that nonsense out there.
Okay, man.
This, Shagnasty's, almost 2 a.m. I don't know how we do it, but we keep doing it, and it's very good. I'm very happy to be here, feeling very blessed tonight at the Shag. Everybody take care. Y'all be safe out there. Bye-bye.